Next up is the Voices of the Year Awards. This was introduced earlier today by Amy Schumer. It's an opportunity for us to honor the big voices who have come out of the past 12 months, the voices that we want to buoy up, to propel forward, the voices we hope in some cases you're discovering here. Many of our Voices of the Year have gone on to become Pulitzer Prize winners, Emmy Award winners. Some of them have shows with Shonda Rhimes, If You're Lovey Ajayi. And we really, really honor these women for using whatever platform they have to change the world for the better. And we have two hosts. We have Jen James, who is the Ground Zero counselor for Crisis Text Line. And then we have Tamron Hall, who is a long-term journalist and television host. And you just announced like 3 hours ago that she has a brand new show in production with ABC. So Jen James, take it away. Vody Award winner from last year.
I'm honored to be giving the Vody Awards today to 3 powerful women who've made a difference in their community, empowering others, and standing up for what's important. Basically, bottom line, these women are fucking amazing. They are badasses, and they have inspired me to make a difference. Our first honoree is Adrienne Lawrence. Adrienne is an attorney by trade and an on-air host and legal analyst who started her broadcast career in the sports and entertainment. Earlier this year, Adrienne stepped out into the gender equality arena by filing a sexual harassment defamation lawsuit against her former employee, ESPN. Adrienne appears to be the very first on-air personality to sue ESPN for sexual harassment, and this company's been around for 40 years. Pretty amazing. We're honoring Adrienne today with the Courage Award for standing up not only for herself, but for others. And so please help me join Adrienne in congratulating her on the Courage Award.
Sexual harassment is an abuse of power in the workplace, an exercise of privilege that too often goes unchecked. Today, Black women suffer the most. They're reporting just as much harassment as they reported 20 years ago. There's been little progress, especially in large companies.
Thank you so much. This entire experience, it's been a journey. It's eye-opening, awakening, and it's also necessary. There are people out there who need help. They need people to stand up and to help them find their voice, if not to speak for them. And to be able to do that, to know that things will be better because you stood up, that it has a big impact and a big influence. And so if we can all do that for other people and ourselves, we can advance women, people in need, vulnerable communities, to be active members of society and to be treated fair and equally in all respects, including the workplace. So thank you so much to She Knows Media for this award. Thank you to all of the wonderful, incredible individuals who've been by my side through this challenging journey, especially my mom, she's here, my girlfriend Jennifer. It's, wow, I can't begin to tell you what an experience like this is like, but I can tell you that there is considerable joy in knowing that you're making a change that's much necessary. So thank you so much.
Our next award goes to someone who has changed lives, changed so many lives in young girls of color. Montserrat Adubanjo has many hats that she wears in life. She's an attorney, she's a journalist, she's a global citizen, to name a few. We are here to honor her with the Community Award for her work in founding the nonprofit Brown Girls for the Art. Brown Girls for the Art is committed to broadening the narrative of Pan-Africans through access, exposure, and representation in the arts. It is dedicated to empowering girls of color to envision their futures as artists. And then they're also going to be world changers by connecting them with positive, relatable, and accomplished role models of color. Montserrat, it warms my heart in what you're doing, and I'm honored to give you this award. Congrats.
Thank you so much to She Knows Media for the BlogHer Creative Summit. I am appreciative of this recognition. I won't say too much. You've heard amazing women speak today, and I've been inspired like I'm sure that you are. I grew up in a household where my parents came from another country and believed in the American dream. And my mother instilled in my brothers and I that it was our responsibility to leave our community better than when we joined it. And so I've always been committed to that, from being an attorney to being a creative intellectual to being a journalist. I started Brown Girls for the Arts Media because I was really frustrated at the lack of diversity and representation in New York City, in prestigious art institutions, and the lack of representation and empowerment. I started Brown Girl Artists, Inc., because I felt that meeting young brown girls that they didn't have a dream for themselves, and I really wanted to show them that they were bigger than the block that they grew up on, and that they had an opportunity and that they had the right to envision themselves as world changers and as leaders, and that there were women out there doing it, and I wanted to show them that. So I thank you so much for recognizing me, recognizing my commitment, and we've just started. Thank you.
So the next award is Shveta Verkrum. I make sure I said that right. She's winning the Storyteller Award tonight, and she was featured by Asian Fusion as one of the most influential Asians of our time. She's also a bestseller of 12 books, including Louisiana Catch, which is her debut novel here in the US. The novel invites you to see a world in a different light, from different perspectives, and it's an amazing thing to do. It has a really strong message about it, so I'll let her share a little bit more, but join me in welcoming and congratulating Shveta.
This book is about friendship and romance and social issues. It's for people who are accepting of diversity and inclusion and change and want to see the world become a better place.
It is an absolute honor and still kind of a shock, only the good kind, to be here today accepting this award. Thank you so much, She Knows Media and BlogHer Conference, and congratulations to all of my colleagues out here. You know, my family tells me that I talk too much. Well, here's proof that talking too much can be a good thing. Well, jokes aside, this moment is very humbling. I know I speak for majority of us writers, activists, storytellers when I say that we don't do what we do to be recognized. We do it because we know no other way. I can't avert my face when I see someone being cruel to another human being or abusing women and girls. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter." You know, I used to wish I had superpowers so I could fight against all this. Then I realized I did have a power, the power of my pen. I write because that's the only way I know how to fight, to give a voice to the voiceless and those being oppressed, to shine a light on things some people like keeping in the dark. I'm nothing if not for my words. Thank you for showing that my words matter, that words have power. Thank you for giving me my superpower. Thank you so much. And I wanted to do this to my husband. I promised I'd embarrass him while I was on stage. There's the guy who's like my biggest supporter. Thank you, guys.
Next up is a very exciting person, Tamron Hall, who many of you guys probably know. And she just today announced that she will have a daytime television show with ABC Disney, a talk show, right? Like, it's pretty exciting. And a lot of our conversations today have been about the next phase, the next thing you do, and this could not be more exciting.
I am so happy to be here with you wonderful women today. Full disclosure, I did not know when I accepted the invitation to be here that we would be announcing the deal with ABC Disney. But Alicia, who's over here, Alicia Quarles, she's corresponding with Daily Mail on her drunk table over there. And I mean that sincerely. I believe in energy. What you give out is truly what you get back. I'm a girl from Luling, Texas. My grandfather had a second-grade education. He could not read, but brought home Maggie May Hall and told her she could be anything in the world. I didn't have a traditional start. Our streets weren't paved until the 80s. And this is not some, when your mama tell you I used to walk in tore up shoes. No, I'm being 100% here. My mom raised me as a single parent until I was age 7, when she met the only father that I know, a man who served in the military, who also told me I could do anything that I imagined. Now, obviously, and many of you are moms, you tell your kid, you are really good in soccer, and they really are not. But the idea behind it is to build that confidence. And then when we become women and we rule our own domain, the responsibility is then to offer that same confidence to other women. And that's what all of you are doing. I know that the women who will get the awards coming up next are those 4 or 5 that we've carved out. But if your journey does not include building up another woman, get on another road, because we need you. We need you. I need you. Our girls need us. So the journey of confidence is our voice, what we're able to say to each other face to face at a conference, at a summit like this. So I'm very excited to be here and to recognize this group of women who've provided a vision. You have those vision boards. Am I the only old? Okay. All right. Holla for the vision board, 1970, what's up? But we have our vision boards, whether they're actually in a room, whether they're on a paper, a notepad, or just in our hearts. We're all visionaries. You are all visionaries. So it's important that we continue to cultivate that spirit. Fox News anchor Ebony K. Williams, who we're honoring today with the Trailblazer Award, has emerged as a powerful media voice in the national conversation on politics, law, justice, and popular culture, where it all intersects these days. An attorney and anchor for Fox News Channel, she made headlines after opposing President Trump's Charlottesville response last summer. She's also a regular guest on the syndicated radio show, The Breakfast Club, breaking down controversial issues such as judicial dissection. Her first book, Pretty Powerful Appearance, Substance and Success, was published in September 2017, and Essence magazine named Ebony one of its 2018 Woke 100. Please, let's give sister love to Ebony K. Williams.
Mr. President, I'm making a personal plea to you. You are actually uniquely positioned to forcefully call out evil, anti-American domestic terrorists, but we certainly cannot change what we fail to acknowledge. So I'm asking you to address their anger, address their misplaced fears. Let them know that this is America, land of opportunity, and there is indeed enough to go around. President Trump, they will listen to you, and they will follow your lead.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, what an honor. So let me first start by saying thank you. And the question I am most asked in my day-to-day life is, why in the world do you choose to work at Fox News, right? Very fair question. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I left my successful and very rewarding career as an attorney. I was a criminal defense attorney for many years, to pursue a career in media because I believe that representation matters, okay? It's very difficult in this world to be what you do not see. And I could not think of a single place in our media landscape that needed the representation of a clear-minded, convicted, educated, self-aware young black woman more than Fox News Channel. To the point of representation, I would like to thank Ms. Tamron Hall, because I am able to do what I do more easily because you have done what you have done. And so I thank you. I want to thank my friend, Ms. Alicia Quarles, who is here in support of me today because she's a sister that supports other women in their journey. Thank you. Thank you, Tanya Christian from Essence Magazine, and my friend and publicist, Ms. Giselle Phelps. So I want to tell you something. Just last week, we would have celebrated the 94th birthday of the prolific author and thought leader, James Baldwin. James Baldwin is a personal hero of mine, and Mr. Baldwin said this. He said, "Figure out who you are, and then make the world deal with you as you are, not their idea of you." I want to say that I'm so honored to be in the company of women today who have figured out who they are, and they are making the world deal with it. So I thank you, I honor you, and I congratulate you all. Thank you very much.
Our next Voice of the Year award is for global citizenship. Physician Ala Morebet has been raising her voice for women and girls since she founded the Voice of Libyan Women at the age of 21. With a strong focus on challenging societal and cultural norms, she champions women's participation in a peace process and conflict mediation. She is one of only 17 global sustainable development goal advocates appointed by the UN Secretary General and UN High-Level Commissioner. Okay, you guys didn't hear this. Let me do this one more time for the people way back in the cheap seats. She is one of only 17 global sustainable development goal advocates appointed by the UN Secretary General and UN High-Level Commissioner on Health, Employment, and Economic Growth. This is a boss woman. Come on. She is widely recognized for her leadership in global policy and in elevating the role of women, particularly young minority women, on global platforms, and I am honored to welcome her here today. Please join us in celebrating Dr. Ala Morebet.
Traditionally, we have not viewed feminine characteristics of leadership as positive. As much for women as it is for men, we need to redefine that. We need to take apart that conversation and talk to our sons about what the world is telling them, a real man looks like, and talk to our daughters about what the world is telling them a real woman looks like.
Thank you guys very much. I think the most deserving thing I can say actually is not only about leadership in our own spaces. This is an incredible recognition. I am very thankful for it. I tend to be around 30 to 40 years younger than everybody I work with, so I'm also just excited about the energy where we're actually playing something like TLC. But what I think is most incredible is I had actually, I don't think BlogHer had heard of me or I had heard of BlogHer had it not been for one incredible woman, and named Liz, who is sitting over there. And yes, give her a round of applause. I work in the intersection of security and policy. I am the person who goes into conflict zones at their worst. I help ensure that peace processes last, if they do last, which 90% don't unless you include women, in which case they're 35 times more likely to last 15 years. Yes. Very important points. And so I think that women's inclusion is not only crucial because of representation or because of economies, it's crucial because if we do not have women at the table when we are talking about security and peace building and nation building, there is no point of inclusion for them when it comes to television or sports or literally any other avenue. And so it's important to have those building blocks. And the way that I get to meet incredible women like all of you who are doing work locally or internationally in your own spaces and fields is by the incredible support and mentorship of other women. And so Liz stepped up and leveraged her network for me. And if there is one thing I can say, I hope it is that we all leverage our networks for each other. Because I genuinely, I see it at work every day. I'm often the only woman, I'm a minority woman, so when I say something, if it's not intelligent, it's like 1.6 billion people have just been judged automatically. And if a young guy says something, he always has an older guy tapping him on the back, saying like, you'll get him next time. And I think it's time that we just start leveraging that for each other and telling each other we'll get them next time, and we get each other at the table and in the rooms. Thank you.
Donna Orender has been inspiring women and girls since her days as an all-star in the Women's Professional Basketball League, recognized as one of the top 10 most powerful women in sports. Yes! She was formerly president of the Women's National Basketball Association and senior vice president of the PGA, now CEO of her own consulting firm, Orender Unlimited. She has continued to blaze new trails for women with Generation W, a dynamic platform of education, inspiration, and connection for women and girls that was founded in 2011. And her first book, I love the title, Wowsdom, The Girl's Guide to the Positive and the Possible, published earlier this year. We are delighted to recognize Donna for being a voice of inspiration to us all.
I am so passionate about Generation We, and we is the collective men and women working together to elevate all of our abilities to succeed. But at the core of that, you know, women are so essential.
I am proud to be up here, but I'm only here on behalf of the women and girls that we have the privilege to be working on behalf of. And I guess it's really all of us. You know, today is a great day because we're talking about voice. And when I think about voices, we have a voice of reason, a voice of passion. There's that little voice in our head that we want to be quiet sometime, but then there's that booming voice that emanates from our soul. Which one is yours? All of them, I agree, all of them. You see, for us, it was the voice of girls, teen girls, 7 of them, extraordinarily proud, vulnerable young women, socially, culturally, ethnically so diverse, who braved a stage in front of 960 women. The women used their voices and said to them, who are you? Tell us what is important to you, and then how do we help you? And it was that moment, that catalytic moment, these women, young women's voices, that became a clarion call for a generation of young women. And we love calling them Generation Wow. Because, you know, our girls are wow. 6 years later, now numbering in the thousands, by word of their mouth, they have catalyzed the partnering of generations of women. You know, I loved hanging around here all day. Samantha, thanks for letting me come in early. Because I love to watch how women interact. We've all had different experiences, but it's the power of those experiences that actually provides support and love and the things that we need to make each other better. So, what we have done is we've created this platform. We ask the question, what happens when you connect the wow of our girls and the wisdom of our women? We get what's called Wowsdom. And Wowsdom has become a movement. As I said, thousands of girls now, we hope to be millions. It's about leadership and caring and sharing authentic connections. It's about advancing the positive and the possible and the ability to believe. Because if we don't believe in ourselves first and each other second, guess what? No one else is going to believe us. And so why do we do this? We do it because we want girls to be better prepared for the future. It's not easy out there, and we know that. We want them to be more in the know, and we want them to be able to absorb life's lessons, embrace them, the easy ones and also the tough ones. And we want them to know, most of all, that they are not alone. That they are not alone, which means that we are not alone, that we are better together. It's really through their leadership that we created a book called Wowsdom, The Girl's Guide to the Positive and the Possible. And truthfully, it's a collection of voices, incredible women, men, girls, who share what our most important currency is, which is our true hearts and our true stories. So I hope that after this, you will join us and come visit us at the book signing back there where we can share the wow. I guess it's a good time for me to say there have been lots of people who have shared their wow with me. I want to thank, of course, BlogHer and She Knows Media and Samantha and Jen. And of course, our Generation W team that's here. Stacy, I don't know where you are. Stacy and Kasha and Jamie. And those that are watching at home, because they've already started texting. What's so great is to be a part of a team. As you know, I was a professional athlete. I played on teams. It's so great to be part of a team that cares so deeply and so passionately about women, about girls, about building communities. We call that about sharing the wow. We'd love to invite all of you to share your wow. What is your wow? Let us know. Hashtag share the wow. Hashtag wowsdom. Hashtag, as someone said earlier, grateful and gratitude. Thanks.
So much to wow about in all of us. Oh, I'm getting emotional. And my lash is going to fall off. So I'll keep it together. Our next voice of the year is storyteller and human rights advocate, Clementine, who we recognize for her bravery, her personal account of her childhood in Rwanda. She's encouraged a myriad of people to persevere despite the odds facing them. She's been a 4-time guest on the Oprah Winfrey Show and a speaker at the Forbes Summit and TEDx, as well as numerous universities and distinguished organizations. Appointed to the board of the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum in 2011, she was recognized for her dedication to improving the lives of others and reappointed in 2016. Her memoir, The Girl Who Smiled Beads, A Story of War and What Comes After, was released in April. Thank you, Clementine, for your bravery and sharing with all of us your experiences.
The stories that I surround myself with are so important. They inspired me over and over again and have given me courage. I am so honored to be in your presence today. I'm so grateful. And my gratitude on being brave, I don't have enough time today to share with you. But my memoir, The Girl Who Smiled Beads, will give you the daily lives of women in a place of conflicts, in a place of wars. It will give you accounts of the daily lives of a young girl going from one country to another, searching for refuge, searching for food, searching for a place of peace. The bravery in which I come from is women who are exhausted. They're exhausted from people taking their children away, gunfire in the streets, bombs being thrown over the homes. I grew up in 9 different countries, from Rwanda to Burundi, to Congo, to Tanzania, to Malawi, to Mozambique, to South Africa, to Zambia, and now here in the United States, in Chicago, and also the Bay Area. I wrote my memoir because everywhere I went, every class that I took, no one really knew the daily lives of a person seeking refuge. So I really encourage you to read the book, and I also really encourage you to invite me into your community so that I can share where my bravery comes from. Because those women in which I come from, their bravery, you have no idea how it can transform our world. They would change the bravery, not because you need to be in a war, not because your children need to be shot in the street, but your bravery could be falling in love and falling out of love. And the last, bravery, bringing a life to this earth. And a life could be a baby, a life could be a dog, a life could be a company. And those women in which I come from, they're ready to lead. And they will lead you to that place of love and just joy. Thank you so much.
Well, our final honoree today is Nepkin Aswan, her friends, who we recognize with the Voice of the Year Award for Social Impact. Aswan is the co-founder and CEO of Women Work, a women's empowerment nonprofit that works year-round to provide meaningful events, opportunities, and content for young professional women, including an annual forum and a gala in celebration of Women's Day March. A 2018 92nd Why Women Empower Fellow and a 2017 Council of Urban Professionals Fellow. Nepkin was recently named the 2018 Choral Leadership New York Fellow. A lot of honors there, but this one I'm sure is also very sweet. Thank you, Nepkin, for your commitment to social impact, and we are proud to join the journey with you.
Women Work is a women's empowerment nonprofit. We're based in New York City, and our goal is to bring women together to celebrate their success and discuss how we can move gender equity forward.
I'm so honored for this award, and I'd like to dedicate it to my mother. My mother came to the United States with less than $50 in her pocket from a post-Civil War Nigeria with a dream of providing a better life for me and my siblings. My mother has taught me that as a Christian woman, you do more by building bridges than building walls. My mother has taught me, thank you. My mother has taught me that while you can be angry with the world around you, it's better to be settled and strategic about how you want to change the world. I'm so grateful for everyone who's supported my career to this point. I want to shout out my two mentors from the 92Y, Christy Wallace and Katie Stogg, who are here. You women have shepherded my career to this point. All the accolades I've ever had have come through women. So I want you guys to network tonight, meet the women who are going to shepherd your careers, and come find me to learn more about Women Work. Thank you.
Well, thank you to our Voices of the Year for raising theirs. I am getting so emotional over here, and I feel like, oh my gosh, are my hormones? Is it then? I don't know. But I truly know it's the company in this room. These are women. You are women who are willing to help people you will never know. People who will never know your names will benefit from what you're doing. Ah, shit. My feelings are all, I'm Drake. I'm in my feelings. And as I started saying, I am here for a reason on this day in my life. And you are here for a reason on this day in your life. And far from this beautiful view of the most important city, they say, in the world, are the least important among us. But you are standing up for each and every one of them. And so I am so proud to be here today. I am full of emotion and joy. And God bless everything that all of you are doing. May the energy continue to shine from this room. Thank you.